Live, okay. And then here's the first thing that comes up, an error message. Okay, cool. Um, don't save, don't save. So we'll just go over here in Adobe Illustrator for a second. Clear clipboard. Okay, now we're back. All right. So let's start by talking about what I have up on the website tonight. Our post for tonight has a bunch of information on it. I'm trying something a little different here. I'm putting all the things we're going to talk about, but I'm also putting little notes in gray that have some of the answers to some of the things we're talking about, some clues, if you will, some hints as to ways that you can do these things. So the first thing I wanted to ask you guys, I just wanted to check in with you. I want to see where people are with the textbook. Does everybody have the textbook in some form? Yes, kind of, maybe, yes. And are you reading it? There's like, I see some of this, woo. Next topic, okay. All right, so the textbook, the textbook that we had last year was not my favorite, and this one's better, and it gives you some good background on WordPress. And it sort of works parallel to what I'm talking to you guys about, and then hopefully you smush all that information together and it makes a lot of sense. So those of you who do not have the book, are you planning on getting it? Who's somebody that doesn't have the book? Just raise a hand. Okay. Are you planning on getting it? No? Okay. And why not? Just because you know everything? Okay. Who else hasn't gotten the book yet? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but... Okay, I could do it the other way. Everybody raise your hand who has the book. Okay. Okay, I just did a little mental poll here. And okay. All right, so if you don't have the book, come talk to me at some point after class or on a break, and we'll talk about ways that we can help you get that book. I would like you guys to read it. I don't want to resort to hideous and evil methods like pop quizzes. Ooh, doesn't that have a scary name to it? Yeah, nobody wants to do that, right? So if you guys will please make sure you have the book and make sure that you're reading it. And if I can ask questions out of the book and somebody can answer them, maybe it'll just be Amanda, maybe we'll elect her as the answer lady. Then that would be great, and then I won't have to give pop quizzes. But if people aren't reading the book, I might have to start quizzing on the information that's in there. So just keep that in mind, use it as a gentle incentive to do some reading. Okay, so the next thing, the web club. I sent a form around, a sign-up sheet for people who are interested in the web club a couple weeks ago, and right when we started out. And I got some names, and I sent an email out to see if anybody wanted to be president. And there was a general silence in the room. there's kind of there's often general silences in the room. Anyway, but I finally, I guess goad isn't the correct word, tricked, sneaked. Well, anyway, I talked to Michael Meller, who's in this class, but he's absent tonight. And we decided together that he would be president of the web club. Now, that's what we needed. We needed a president so we could move forward. Yes. And we do have a project, which is what, the Asian site?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it still being worked on, or
The work is in
limbo?
limbo.
Okay. Okay, great. So we have a project. Okay. So now we have a president and we have a project to work on in the web club. And one thing that I was thinking of was, because everybody's schedules are so weird, maybe we could do things like maybe meet online, like through Skype or Google Hangouts or something like that. I mean, we could have a meeting. The best meeting time for me would be actually right before this class, like sometime between 3:30 and 5:30 on Thursdays. Is there anybody who's interested in doing the web club that could make that kind of time frame? Raise your hand if you are one of those people. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is we have a president, we have a project, which I'll have Gene talk about in just a second. And what I'll do is I'll send an email out to you guys, and I'll figure out if we're going to meet online in some sort of video conference, and then anybody that wants to can get involved with that. Yes?
I wasn't here So, what is the web club?
Well, it's called a PIMA Web Design Club, and or I guess the official name is Web Design Development Club. And basically, what it is just a bunch of students who get together and find a project to work on, and then learn a lot about web design doing it. Last semester, we did this website. We do work in WordPress, so it's a good good learning experience. So we did the Tucson Comic-Con website, and it was a big success. Their old website was really horrible, and we just made something that's kind of horrible. No, I'm just kidding. It actually is pretty good. And we all got free passes to the Comic-Con. I mean, they're a non-profit, so we did it. You know, we're not making any money off of it. It's just a way to get good. So, and then I'll let Gene go ahead and tell you about it, and I'll keep you in the loop, Alex. In fact, I'll email everybody in the class when we're going to meet, and you can poke your head in, join the video conference if you want. You want to tell us a little bit about the project?
Well, the APASA Club, which is Asian Pacific.
Something club.
Well, it's an interest, people that are interested in Asian Pacific culture. And so we started a WordPress site on one of Todd donated a page. And we started a mock-up, but we really haven't got past, we've got the requirements, but we put up a few pages.
But that's all there is. Okay, great. So we got a project to work on, and we'll talk about that at the first meeting, and I'll get back to all you guys about that. Okay, thank you, Gene. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that I'm going to be assigning you guys Project 1 tonight, and you'll have several weeks to work on it. One of those weeks we will not meet. Does anybody know why? Rodeo. The one reason to live in Arizona, because you get rodeo vacation off. Yeah, well, Thursday, there you go. So that's in a week or two, and we're going to have that day off. But Project 1 isn't due till the end of the month. But anyway, all of this stuff that you see right here, all these bullet points, they all have to do with Project 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the Project 1 assignment, and then when you're done freaking out, we'll come back here and I'll explain how to do all the things that I'm asking you to do. Okay? So I'm going to click here on this Project 1 assignment. Okay, so let's just talk about where we are for a second. Everybody has a WordPress website, right? You're just starting to get into WordPress. You know a little bit about HTML and CSS. But you're new to WordPress, most of you. And so you're like, well, where do we go from here? Well, where we go is we make a decision about how we want our website to look, what the website design is going to be, right? So what you have to do is you have to pick a subject that is going to be the theme of your website, right? So it could be a car wash or a portfolio website for you, or maybe a friend has a business, a store or something, and you're going to make a website for them, right? So that's the first thing you need to do is decide on a design for your website. What's it going to be about? And you're going to be working on this website all semester. And if you get halfway through the semester and you just hate it, you can change it. But let's commit to a design fairly soon, right? So you're going to decide on a visual design for your website, and then you're going to create something called a wireframe for your website, right? Are you guys good with wire, and welding, all that 3D stuff? Okay, good. No, actually, Amanda has volunteered to tell us what a wireframe is. You're looking at me like, I hate that guy. Okay, tell us what a wireframe is, Amanda.
It's basically just a layout of how you want your website to look. So it can be a sketch or something digital.
Just a sketch or you could use a program like Photoshop or Illustrator, right? And remember, we're going to look at all this stuff as soon as I'm done talking about it, right? So a wireframe is almost like a storyboard or a sketch of your website. Okay, so you're gonna, once you get the idea, let's say it's Joe's Car Wash, right? Then we're gonna, take a piece of paper out and sketch what we think the homepage would look like. Big picture here, his logo, some text, pictures of the employees, mission statement, things like that, right? Now, if you can do your wireframe any way you want. You can do it with pencil and paper, or you can do it digitally using something like Illustrator or Photoshop. But whatever you do, I want you to take it and get it into a digital format. So if you do it on pencil and paper, scan it in or take a picture of it. I need it as a JPEG so that we can share it with the class when we talk about your website. Okay, so that's number 2. So we said 1 was decide on a design, 2 is create a wireframe, in other words, make a sketch. Okay, and then 3 is to begin the process of editing the website, making changes to the existing WordPress theme to start to move it in the direction of what will be your completed website at the end of the semester. Now, this section 3 here that has all these different letters, by the time you're done with this, it doesn't mean you're going to have a completed site. It means you're starting on the journey. You're doing things like tweaking colors, putting in an image for the header, editing one CSS style. It's a lot of text, but it's really not very much. And I'm going to show you how to do everything on this page tonight. Now, one last caveat, or maybe the first caveat, but certainly not the last, is that you guys know that WordPress is capable of switching themes at the click of a button, right? You can go under Appearance and Themes, click on Install Themes, and there's several thousand free themes and lots of paid themes. Now, you're welcome to explore those and to download them and to see what your site looks like in them, but the requirement for this class is that the work that you do in the class that is graded has to be done in the 2012 theme, which is the theme we're all currently on. Now, just to let you know, that I'm not Simon Legree or anything like that, you can actually download other themes, and later on in the semester, I'll show you how you can switch over to that theme, that new theme that you like, and make custom pages that will appear in that theme so that if you want to use that for your ultimate website, you can. And then you can switch back to 2012 for the school projects. Does that make sense to people? Right? It's kind of like the whole Mr. Rogers thing. You guys remember Mr. Rogers, right? Or hearing about him, reading about him in the dusty old books. Right? So the thing with Mr. Rogers was he worked and then he would come home and he would get out of his work clothes and put on his tennies and his little sweater and everything. And so it's like you can have more than one theme. You can have your work theme, which is this, 2012, which is where you're going to do your work you turn in. And then you can have your fun theme, which is whatever you want to have. And you can have your same content in there, but edit it just within that theme. And the edits you do within that theme will stay within that theme. And then over in 2012, everything will look the way it needs to be for the class. Okay, so this bad boy isn't due till the 27th. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how to do all this stuff now. Okay, so let's close this, go back to the website here, and let's start out by talking about wireframing. So if you go to the website, which is at dreamco.com/Pima, you can click on this link here that says wireframing, and you will go to a website. It's actually a few years old, 4 years old now, I guess, but it's pretty good, and so I thought I would use it. Anyway, it talks about what wireframes are and why you should use them. And basically, a wireframe is just a sketch of your idea of how a website will look. Brooks, do you have a question?
It just doesn't ever let me log in.
Okay, let me